And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be doing the level 56 Astrologian Quest. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So, 4 levels to go, guys, and then I'll be Grand Master of Magic. In order to get that title, you need to be level 60 with Astrologian, with Arcanist, with Thaumaturge, Black Mage, and with White Mage. So all the caster classes, once you're 60, you get the title Grand Master of Magic. So just like I've got Grand Master of Hand because I did all crafting classes, Grand Master of Land because I did all the gathering classes, there's one for Magic, and there's also one, I believe, for all the rest of the classes, it's for War. It's called War. Grand Master of War, or it might be Battle. Let me actually check. So if you go to your achievements, you go to, I think it's Character and then Classes, you can see the different achievements here. So yeah, look, Grand Master of Magic, and then War. Okay, so if you get all the other classes up, then you'll get Grand Master of War. If you get both of them done, so Grand Master of War and Magic done, then you will get the Warlord's Crown, which is just a good for everything class crown, like you got at level 50 if you did all the classes to 50. Anyway, so we are here in the Athenium Astrologicum at 1510 in the Pillars, and we need to talk to Janquinard again. So we will get the ability Time Dilation. So it says extends the duration of beneficial effects you cast on a party member by 15 seconds. Nice, and it has a 90-second recast timer. And the quest is called Feather in the Cap. So Janquinard has the latest information on Lady Levavor's current location. So I am happy to report that Levavor is fine and well, and hasn't been attacked by bandits, dastards, curs, Sharlayan spies, or disgruntled knights once since her last encounter at the Convictory. After restoring health to all the convictors so they might return to getting wounded again, she journeyed northwest into the Dravanian Forelands. If journey was without incident, she should be in Tailfeather now, tending to the Chocobo hunters there. Might I suggest that we go and join her, Mithrie? Okay, we can do that. So teleport straight to Tailfeather. So let's go. And I am quite enjoying Astrologian, that's for sure. It's very interesting of a class. It's 100% different to White Mage and Scholar. So it's good that Square Enix was able to create a unique healing class in that way. So, okay, let's fly. Whee! Longest flight ever. Right, okay, so here's Levavor. Let's talk to her. So, Mithrie, it's good to see you again. I pray you have not been neglecting your training. Now, you may be wondering why I chose Tailfeather of all places to visit next. Well, the truth of the matter is, I did not choose it at all. It chose me. The hunters here somehow heard of what we had done at the Convictory and placed a formal request to have me come and tend to the hamlet's wounded. I would like to believe this proof that word of the benefits of Sharlayan astrology is slowly but surely spreading through the realm. But enough talk. There are still many ailing souls that require succor. Would you and Janquinard mind assisting me again as you did in the Western Highlands? Oakley dokley dokley dokley. So we need to heal a bunch of stuff. So cast this spell, basically, on these people. Aspected, I can't even say it, benefic. So, an honest healer here in Tailfeather, now I have seen everything. Wow. Mithrie, you suck. Yeah, I know. I can't read. I can't cast spells. What am I? I'm every, caster in this game. Oh, anyway. So, let's do the next one. Razor 12, I'm healed. That was mean, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Okay, next. There's one over here. Whee! Splat. So I don't know who you are, but you're good in my book. Yep. Cool. So let's talk to Levavor, wherever she may be. Okay. The sup. So these men and women have chosen a horrendously dangerous profession. A chocobo's talons can rip open flesh to the bone, and single kick can knock an otherwise hale hunter out for a sen night, if he survives it. Many of them seem surprised, grateful of course, but surprised that we were here helping them. Does the hamlet not have its own healers? Do the Temple Knights not dispatch their hospitaliers this far from Ishgard? Yep, that's right, I said hospitaliers. So the Holy See only cares for the war with the dragons. It cannot be bothered with a handful of hunters, despite the fact that these hunters are its citizens. I was told on my arrival that they manage with makeshift poultices, whatever that word is, created using herbs gathered from around the hamlet. When the wounds are more severe, they turn to their sole barber, who, well, is also the local butcher. I'm sorry. My frustration with the situation coupled with the day's efforts have me slightly drained. Might we be allowed a few moments of respite? Sir Janquinard said, Quimperate Mithrie, would you be so kind as to accompany the lady on her stroll? It has been far too long since the Charlian assassin showed her face, and a reading I conducted earlier this morning showed a day rife with conflict and confusion. Dokily, 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 dokily. So, speak to Laveva in the Chocobo Forest. Let's go. Let's assume there's going to be a fight now that she's strolled into the woods, away from the safety of the camp. Yep, exactly. There's a fight. That's what the glowy thing around them means. I am totally shocked and surprised. So before we go in, let's cast Protect. And let's cast Stone Skin. Remember as well, if you have Conjurer to level 6, which you will have if you've unlocked Astrologian, then to use Cleric Stance when you need to do DPS. So Duke calls, commence battle for Feathering the Cap. If your level's above 58, it will be synced. But hopefully this will go smoothly, because remember, you can always drop Cleric Stance and just heal yourself to max really, really easily. So, I'm glad you came, Mithrie. There is something important I must tell you. Since Janquinard gave me my father's journal, I have spent nights poring over his writings, trying to piece together what I could about his life. It appears he was hard-working and just. He trusted all and truly wanted to help people in need. He believed that knowledge should not be hoarded like food, but shared amongst the intellectually starved. He also knew that there were those who would see him stopped, persons who use their influence to trick and frighten the Forum into believing that knowledge should be kept at one's breast, persons who saw my father as a threat. His final few entries all speak of how he feared for his life, of how one man in particular was working to see him dead. That man's name... Voldemort. It's not important, for in the end it turned out your father was killed by the very people he was foolish enough to trust. So obviously this is a familiar voice, this is not her. It's amazing how all the characters sound exactly the same in this game. So people who in their slaying of a good man proved that they were unworthy of the knowledge he so freely offered them. And now here you are, making the same mistake as he. Continue with this foolishness and you too will suffer his fate. There she is again. Sup. So, do not dare talk of my father as if you knew him. You know nothing. Your mind is as closed as the minds of those back in the old world who believe that hiding in their books will shield them from the pain and suffering of the real world. Such passion, it is a pity that it remains misdirected. My employer only wishes to see you back safe in Charlian. The Forum recognizes your talent. You are an asset to our nation and its people. We would have you live a long and prosperous life so that you may rise even higher than your father ever had the opportunity to. But we know you are far too stubborn to take this gift so graciously offered. You would rather fight, and you know, so would I. No more games, Laveva. Let us end this, right here, right now, with your precious stars as our witness. Spare no one, not even the girl. Okay, so if they have a caster, I don't think they have. Okay, we're going to simply just gravity and wreck them all. And I said don't be scared to use... Oops. I pressed the wrong button, man. Don't be scared to use Cleric Stance, and also don't be scared to use Diurnal Sect as well. So we could just rip them all. And thankfully for Astrologian, mana is really, really not a problem. Okay, so we're going to do Combust. And you can also do Combust 2 as well. There's nothing stopping you doing both. Just make sure as well that you keep your team alive. So we're going to drop Cleric Stance and we're going to heal them up. Okay, we can use that ability. Just get them full before the next round. Wow. So obviously in this situation, try and deal with the ranged as quickly as possible. Let's put up the Cleric Stance again. Just keep an eye on your team, because you never know. And as well, we might actually start using Gravity, because there's so many of them clumped together. Unfortunately, I can't use my Chocobo in this fight. Otherwise, I would. So, you see, I'm still wearing, like, level 50 gear. And with Cleric Stance, I'm still doing fairly decent DPS. My guess is that there'll be one more group after this one. Okay, let's do Combust 2. Let's do Combust. Let's just make sure that Quimperane doesn't die, because that'll be awkward. I'm sure the story will end if you let one of the main characters die. So heal, heal, heal. Remember when you're healing to drop the, what's it called? Drop your Cleric Stance. Okay, so... which one are they doing? Okay, let me put up Cleric Stance again. Let's use Gravity. Because at least it then hits both. Let's use Stella. Okay. Drop Cleric Stance. Let's do some emergency healing, because we don't want anyone to die. We want flawless victory. And that's what good healers do. Stay away from the AoE. Stella. Gravity. Combust 2. So that one's pretty much dead now. Let's just finish off the main protagonist. Is it a good idea as a healer to get used to clicking on and off Cleric Stance when you're doing DPS? It really helps a lot. And I'm starting to run out of mana. I should have been hitting the whole time the Limb of Furious Aether, because it does refresh, which basically restores mana. Oh well, I just didn't need it. Okay, fight this it. Fight one. So it is a good idea, especially when you know you're going to be spamming abilities and using a lot of MP, to just use the refresh every time it's off cooldown to keep your mana at a manageable pace, but we got through it anyway. I did have mana pot spare just in case. Are you alright? I heard the commotion and came quickly as I could. So not as quickly as these four. You remember the hunters so gravely wounded not less than a bell ago? If memory serves me, they could barely lift a finger, let alone rushing headlong into a heated battle to help turn the tide. Don't be so too hard on the Silk's shirt. Turns out we didn't need his help any road. Who'd have thought it, eh? Real life fighting astrologians. Now I truly have seen everything. So, Leveva, I dare say that those men would not have risked their lives had they little respect for us or our craft. You are right, our actions have done more to promote Charlian astrology than any long-winded discourse. Why, I expect this very night the tale of your daring deeds will be told 100 times over in mead halls across the Forelands. Which means it will not be long before the Forum has heard as well. We Charlians may have officially abandoned this realm, but our ears remain. If one who hired Sali is who I think it is, and I expect naught less than a formal edict of extradition to be issued. An edict of extradition, but Sharlayan has no power to force Ishgard to deliver you into their hands. So furthermore, what exactly is it you have done wrong, but allowed others to partake in your great nation's bottomless well of knowledge? I do wonder if we're going to visit Sharlayan one day, with all the talk about it. As I did nearly 20 summers ago when I studied in her halls. Things changed after you left, Janquinard. Many even believe it was my father's death that has tipped the scales in favour of closing Sharlayan's doors and locking away all our knowledge. If the Forum deeds it so, I could be arrested and imprisoned for the theft of national resources, and I see no reason why your Holy See, who has already shown his disdain for our efforts, would stand in its way. So what do we do? Your grandfather, your father, they have given up too much to see you here. We cannot just concede defeat now that we have finally begun to make headway. I never said we would, Jane. I have no intention of giving up or giving in. Doing so would be to deny the sacrifices made by my father and grandfather. The stars have shown me the path I must take. There is no other, and it begins back at Tailfeather, healing those who evaded us. I will see the two of you in Ishgard once I have settled matters here. Crimperain will see I arrive unharmed. I mean, they could just teleport, but whatever. Why can't they just use the Aether like everyone else? So anyway, let's go back to Ishgard. So we need to go to... Whoops. It's actually quicker for me to just do this. So, no it's not because I'm an idiot. Favorites. Nope, it's not under that category either. So apparently it wasn't quicker to do anything. RIP. This is what happens when you don't play a game for a long time and pretend you still know it. I mean, quality content here on youtube.com/Mithrie. Anyway, so the Aetherite, Aethernet, the Astrologicon. I just like saying that word. Okay, so let's run. Because time is precious. Dr. Janquinard. So, Lady Vava still has not returned from Tailfeather. Oh, but do not worry. I have had word that she simply intends to stay a few turns of the sun longer. What we should be worrying about, however, is the Forum and their pending decision on our companion's extradition. If an official edict is drafted, I fear we may find ourselves at the mercy of the Vault, and if that were to happen, there may be little we can do to keep Levava here, short of starting a war. If only we had more time. When I was studying Sharlayan, I heard whispers of an ancient astronomic spell which could stop time and the very movements of the heavens. All of my professors denied it existed, the only technique remotely similar being called time dilation, a process in which diverting a celestial body's otherwise straight flow of Aether creates the illusion of slowed time, increasing the duration of beneficial magics. Cool. So that's that done. Ooh-ah. Nice. Okay, so that's basically it. We're now 56, 4 levels to go until Grandmaster of Magic. Then we can start with all the melee-based DPS classes. So from the classes remaining, which are Monk, Dragoon, Bard, Ninja, and Machinist, let me know in the comments down below which one you would like to see me level first and keep doing the series for. It is obviously the intention to, as I've done with every other class, to just do every job quest in the game and put on my YouTube channel. So anyway guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me and goodbye from Mithrie.